Hey guys, it's your girl Alana Love. Thank you so much for joining me on Love and Laughs. And here I have this sexy, the most fabulous
It's me.
Geno Bisconte
Hey,
from
gorgeous.
In Hot Water.
How are you, Boo?
How are you?
I'm amazing. It's good to be back. Like I did
Yes!
the show one other time with
It
you.
feels like you never left.
That's the scent. I leave a scent of failure and confusion behind everywhere I go.
You leave a sense of success.
Very good to me. What are you doing? You just had a birthday?
Yes, my 22nd birthday.
So young.
I know, I keep turning 22.
She can't count to 23? Is that what
No,
happened?
even when I'm 80 in a walker, I'm
Yeah.
still going to be like, I'm 22, bitches.
I can't imagine you'll ever need a walker.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I talk about that with, because I say this, it's, Italian Jews...
They get along very well.
Oh, yeah. Italian Jews and Greeks, they're all the same. The women get old and they just live on guilt and anger.
Oh, I mean, have you met my mother?
But no, but I knew my Aunt Olga, and I know that's the same. My Aunt Olga, this is what I think of with age. My Aunt Olga, my Uncle Frank, her husband died like 20, she just passed away. She was 94. Oh, 94.
Oh,
Died
so she
in her
was
sleep,
alive.
in her house, surrounded by family, never in pain. We should all write our ticket like that, right? But Uncle Frank died 20 years earlier. So, the Italian, the Jew, that's it. You're done. You're done. You just spend the rest of your life with family, making them miserable. So about 4 years after he passed away, I went to see Aunt Olga one time, and her oldest son goes, ask your aunt about her boyfriend. And I say, Aunt Olga, who's his boyfriend? And she goes, oh, stop. Joey Crudo brought me some vegetables. Dude, he brought her bell peppers. Then he brought her plum tomatoes. And I honestly said to her, I said, Aunt Olga, if he brings you eggplants, he's calling you a whore. So...
He brought her eggplants?
He brought her eggplants. He brought her everything. So a couple months later, I go back, and remember, this one, age is a number, Right. So I go back a couple months later, and I say to Aunt Olga, hey, how's your boyfriend? And she goes like this, oh, poor Joey. Joey died. So I go, well, Aunt Olga, how old was Joey? And she goes like this, just 80. Not 80. Not
just 80.
Just 80. Just 80 is not an age. That's a price I quote an Asian chick in a massage parlor. Like, if you're going to jerk me off with a condom, just 80. Just 80, bitch.
No,
That's all
it's
you
like
get.
my mom, someone asked my mom, so how's your boyfriend, whatever. She's like, he's not my boyfriend. He's just someone that I spend time with. Just stop it. Meanwhile, he lives in the house. They do everything together. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what do you mean?
But
what?
they don't have time to worry about, the world is, let me rephrase, the world isn't going insane, but the mainstream media, social media, they want us to believe the world's going insane. But I think most people are like us, and they just don't really give that much of a fuck other than hanging out with their friends and stuff. You know what I mean?
Listen, the media makes everything that much worse. I totally believe it, and that's why I stopped watching the media.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I just got rid of cable about 2 weeks ago.
But all you need is Instagram and Facebook.
That's
because you see everything that goes on. You don't need the news. You see Instagram and Facebook and you're all caught up. This is what's going on in the world today.
And I honestly think, we were talking about this, how the world shut down, how that comedy, how that cigar bar didn't open up yet. The fights I have with, there's two different, I have friends on Facebook that aren't my friends. They're just friends that
yeah.
Right. But half the people that I fight with that I know personally on Facebook, if we were sitting in a bar, we'd be having the same discussion using the same words but laughing and drinking. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. Ralph Sutton, you know Ralph Sutton?
Oh,
I love Ralph Sutton.
Yeah.
He's the polar opposite of me on COVID and everything. And we go back and forth on social media. And then people see us at a bar drinking. And Ralph is vaccinated, okay? Okay, I'm not, but here's how you get around it. Watch this. Ask me if I'm vaccinated.
Are you vaccinated?
Isn't everybody? You say it. And by the way, I need the clip because that's not even my joke. That's my brother's joke. Or as comedian Bob Levy calls my brother, the funny Bisconte. But it's so good. Isn't ever? And then no one wants to know. But and I was busting his balls because Ralph is vaccinated. He got COVID. And I didn't. And I'm texting him I guess I can't hang out with you, buddy. But then when pictures of me and him pop up doing shots, they're like, I thought you hated him. No, I fucking love
friends.
Ralph. Yeah, but that's it. The social...
No, but social media has caused so many people to,
I don't know.
lose friendships.
I've seen your
stuff.
social media, and it doesn't cause me... It causes me to lose something. Fluids!
Well, no, not my social media, but I'm talking about other people's social media.
Yeah.
If you disagree with them, that's it. You're no longer friends.
No. There's an arrogance. You're an idiot.
Like, to me, it's...
And I'm not without, let me tell you, I'm not without sin in that. Like, I get a little bananas with it sometimes. You ever just, like, I text to speech everything, and sometimes I'll text to speech, I'll read it, and I'll be like, what are you sending? Are you insane? Are you insane, Geno? You never do that? You never look at somebody like, no, you're a good person. You never feel like, this is nuts. What am I doing?
Oh, 100%. Like,
yeah.
Especially after a drunk text, like, oh. Wow, I said that?
Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
And like, the next day I'll just be like, oh, it wasn't me. Someone else took my phone from me. Like,
but the world is, I said this, and I think a lot of people agree. Like you look and you're fucking busier than ever. You are, but it shows. Like, you look great. And I think COVID was the best thing for a lot of people. Like, I will say this. Like, I've lost like 25 pounds since it started because I quit drinking. Like, I told you this I know I said this last time. I mean...
Trulies don't really count, though.
No, I drink again, but I quit drinking for 7 straight months because...
Cheers to that. I mean, you quit drinking, but...
But before, it's like stolen valor, but it wasn't what... I didn't sit there and go like this, I'm not drinking for 7 months, but I used to say, we used to do in hot water, me and Aaron Berg do it now, Compound Media, 2 to 3:30 every day, 4 days a week.
Tune in. I'll be on next week, by the way.
It is so much fun. And then the boss, Anthony Camigo, but we used to be on the mornings from 9 to 10:30, and I used to say...
Why did it change the timing?
It was a compliment, because first we were on once a week, Tuesdays from 2 to 3:30, and then Aaron, we talked about this, Aaron Berg, the business guy, I'm the glad-handing drunk, he's like, yo, we want a morning show, and apparently we were doing so well, they gave it to us. Berg is nuts. He wanted to do 3 fucking hours a day. And at first I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea.
What do you talk about for 3 hours?
I honestly think we could do it because we don't prepare. We just show up and talk. But
right.
But I love the way it went.
Pretty much.
Yeah. but we went from 9 to 10:30, 9 to 10:15, and I used to say this. I don't know what time you have to get up to get to Midtown Manhattan, 35th and 7th. Stop by.
Oh yeah. I would always show up late, by the way.
Yeah, well, you're allowed to because you're hot. If he showed up, we'd throw him. So I said, I don't know what time you have to get to Midtown. What time you have to get up to get to Midtown Manhattan by 9 a.m. and get there with a full bottle of Jameson. But I am going to drink that with you. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you across the street to the bar and buy you more shots. But when you say fans aren't allowed in because of COVID, so no one shows up with whiskey, and when you shut the bar across the street,
now what?
It's no fun to drink, it made me a worse drunk, maybe, because it's like
it got you an angry drunk.
Yeah, it's like, because I wasn't drinking, because they're like, well, you can drink at home. I'm not going to drink at home alone. How about this? Well, you could drink in a Zoom meeting, so I could sit at home alone, toasting my computer. Like, who raised you? This is not what a drunk does, so
Did you do the Zoom thing?
I did Zoom comedy shows, but I never drank in a Zoom meeting.
How was the Zoom comedy shows?
They weren't as bad as you thought, but they weren't good, you know?
But wasn't it hard to not have an audience like in front of you and stuff?
It was an adaptive. You adapted to it like during the lockdown, but thank you for getting me back on track. This is why I think the world is better, and I know I am. I think before COVID, both sides of the microphone, we'll say, is in both sides of the. I feel like I know I was, and I know a lot of comedians taking the crowds for granted. I know the crowds were taking comics for granted. Like, hey, we paid our 2-drink minimum, wouldn't be right. Laugh, and I'm offended by that. You're not. And
or throw tomatoes at you. I don't know if people.
I got hit with a cannoli once. No, it was an eclair.
I mean, you're Italian, so.
So I was complimented. I'm like, aim higher, fucking Guido.
Like, I want to eat it.
But it's and the comics, I think, are like, oh, this crowd sucks. But when they take it from you, and then you're slowly bringing it back, and you're doing shows in the park, and I'm.
Oh yeah, I saw like Larry's page and stuff.
Yeah. And you're doing shows in Central Park for 8 people on 6 blankets, and you're looking at them like, thank God you're here. And they're looking at you like, thank God you're doing this. And like, I'm telling you, and this is what I was screaming about on the show today, I'd say I'm done with most of the comedy clubs, but most of the comedy clubs are done with me. I don't know if you know this, but I think COVID's a hoax. I don't. I'm anti-vax. I don't. Get whatever you want. I'm a white supremacist. Let's skip that. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? And it's like I'm not vaccinated. I don't care because right. I'm realizing more than ever there was a time I wanted to be past the clubs. And I am still past, but it's just like all I want to do now is get reps in and make people laugh and be able to make as many people I can wherever I can, because me and Berg tour a lot with this thing called the Comedians of the Compound that, yes, Aaron Berg started, where he would take all the... And that's a home game. And I can get on stage and say, hey, do you like my pants? I like your pants. You know what I mean?
Geno Bisconte, I love it.
You were at the show,
Oh
I
my
remember.
God, yes, I was front row.
So now it's just like
I threw the cannoli.
Oh.
And my bra.
No, that took me a different place. Anyway, but that's my point. It's like, so I'm realizing it's like, and I said this today to Kumi, I'm like, and I mean this in the best way. I have enough friends. And I don't mean like, fuck you. I like people. I do. You know me. I'm like this on stage. I'm like this off stage. I'm an idiot. I like people. So when people, say like, oh, he did a joke about race, he's a racist. So you're saying someone like me, who I think it's going through the camera right now, you see my energy, okay? It's very positive. It's very infectious. So you're saying I wake up with this beautiful positive energy and decide to send hateful energy to people I never even met because of their color. Okay, you believe that.
People are always going to find something to say.
Yeah.
About something.
Yeah. But that's my point. Like, since the lockdown, like, I've never been more focused on what I'm doing, and I've always enjoyed what I was doing more. I really...
So you enjoy it now more?
Oh, my God. Watch the show. You'll see. Like, I go to the studio, and I'm laughing hysterically. And I'm the least funny person there. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's the show. It's me and Aaron, and Garrett and Steve, the producers. And
Do you have guests on the show and fans now? And
well,
stuff?
the fans come in a lot less, but we tell them they can come, but they don't want them in on the boss's show. But it's just three of us. It's one of us trying to make the other three guys laugh for an hour and a half, and it's dumb and it's brilliant and it's old Howard Stern meets Conan. I honestly would describe it as that, and you can disagree, but just watch it. But I laugh, dude. I laugh my balls off at my job, and I love it. I love it.
So you would rather do that than be at the comedy clubs, pretty much.
That's an interesting question, and I've thought about. Look at you. I told you she's more than just a pretty face. That's a great question, and I honestly,
22 years old does me right.
You read it at a 23-year-old level.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's a great. There are times, when I think that when I'm behind the desk doing the show, but when I'm on stage, there's nothing better. There's nothing better, and I get away with shit that I think is it's.
Did you have sex on stage?
Would I? Could I?
I know you could. Did you?
No.
Lies. You're not Larry.
Larry's insane. That guy's. I love him.
I love Larry.
But wait, one second. Oh, but like the stuff I say on stage now, it's like I'm not afraid of being canceled. I do a joke where I say the first person ever to say nigger please was Thomas Jefferson. It was the preferences of his eHarmony profile. And I do it at about 9% of the shows because I read the crowd and it's never them. Like that joke should always work, but there's sometimes like I'm not in the right space and it's like a fucking loaded gun. If you're going to do that joke, you better know how to handle it or it's going to... But when I do it, it kills. And the punchline, and people laugh, and I make them aware. I'm like, you should be laughing at that. I'm like, I took a word that people want to tell you is bad, but the word isn't bad. Like I use that word to make you laugh. And if you don't laugh, and I pointed out at the beginning of the set now, that laughter, it's not a cute phrase anymore. Laughter's the best medicine. That's a fact now.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. It relieves stress. It releases endorphins.
Well...
Makes you look like you're 22 when she's actually 23 and a half. I didn't want to
I'm just laughing all around.
But
no, because it's such a negative environment now that you have to laugh, and you have people are like to me, oh my God, you're always so positive. And everything. I'm like, because if you're just gonna be negative Nancy all the time and everything, then just kill me now.
Yeah.
Because the world is such a negative place right now that you need some positivity. And
it is and this is how my act changed and it didn't. Like, I did a show before, and it's about that positivity thing you're saying. Like, I did a show before the lockdown, and it was like, I did it at a bar in Philly. I know, quit bragging. But after I got done, the owner comes up, he's like, hey, I taped it. You want? I'm like, I don't want the tape. Then when we finally get back to comedy 5 months later, I've forgotten it's in there, but you can't find it.
Right.
And I got the tape, and I was going to listen to it, but I didn't because, remember when you were in I think it's so long ago for me, in high school,
last year?
2 years ago, cute. At the back of your algebra book, it would have the answers to certain problems.
Yeah.
But once you looked at those answers, you never figured out how to get there. I'm like, I can't look at these jokes.
I don't think we need algebra now anyway. I don't think I've ever used algebra in my life.
Algebra.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you now, I got to the old jokes in a new way, and one of the things I say is exactly what you just said, Alana. It's like, it's like, this is what you need to do. Like, when people laugh really good at one of my jokes, it happens 2-3 times a week. But when they do, I'll say to them, and I mean, I'll be like, how does that feel? Remember how that feels right now. Because negative people will try to take that from you.
Right.
And that should be a hate crime if we know it heals you. And I said, and that's when I thought of it, because of what you said. I'm like, you know what you need to do to be happy? Just be happy. And positivity will attract more. Right. And it'll draw more happy people in. Like, and I'm finding that now.
Like, listen, we all have off days. We all have days that, like, we just don't want to get out of bed and everything and just want to watch TV. But at the end of the day, it's like, there's always things to look forward to. That's how I look at it.
I'm looking forward to you being on our show next week.
Absolutely.
Let me explain what a professional. Let me explain what a professional I am. I did a plug. All right, I'm done.
I know. And I'm going to do another
Does this
plug.
guy even work here? He just keeps masturbating in front of me. Aggressively. How bored are you guys when we don't do this?
He likes you. It's all for you.
And by the way, speaking of, like, how bored, like, I've stolen. Allow me to brag.
You've stolen masturbation?
No, I can't. I'll never get that back. You've known this as long as I'm a great uncle. I'm very proud of my niece and nephew. They never grew out of it. And 2 things I brag about is, when my niece was 6 months old, you can't make this up. She's on my lap, right? And she picks up a pen and she scribbles on a piece of paper and she puts the pen down and hands me the paper, and I look at her father, my only brother, and I say, she's going to be an artist. He's like, what are you talking about? And I said, did you see what she did? I said, she didn't scribble on the paper and walk away. She scribbled on the paper, she put the pen down, and then handed me the paper like, I'm done. My niece is an artist now. She's in art shows. She's 19 now, and I'll tell you a little something crazy. Still thinks I'm great. But my nephew, and I thought of this when I said, how bored are you? My nephew, when he was 8, it's on my album, Uncle Geno's Amazing. But when
everyone will go watch it.
When he was 8, I'll never forget, I would do all these dumb jokes I do, right? And my nephew would look at his father, my brother, and he goes, let me explain the joke, Dad. I get it, Nick. It's really clever, Dad. Nick, he called your mom a whore. How does this guy do it? How does he do it? And so now he's 17. He's so funny. But I tell him all the time, like, I stole your bit. Like, I'll do a dumb joke and I'm like, let me explain the joke. I just do that, and I stole it. But he used to always say that.
He doesn't find that funny.
Oh, but he used to always say that to my brother. How bored are you when Uncle Geno's not here? And my brother would be like, not that bored, Nick. I'm not that bored. You've only put up with him 8 years. You know how long I'm like,
you know how long I put up with him?
He does.
My whole
life. It gets old. And my nephew's like, I don't think you get old, Dad. And I'll tell you, still hasn't gotten old. Still thinks I'm great.
Do they go to your comedy shows?
Not yet, but my nephew, he just turned 17, and he is...
I'm sure you can't wait.
Oh, he's already started telling his mother, well, I'll be opening for Uncle Geno by then. And his mother goes, it's not funny, because he's partly serious. I'm like, oh, I know.
I know, and I can't wait.
I can't wait.
You're plotting.
That's exactly it. Oh. But sometimes I'll do a gig near my brother, and I'll always leave him comps. And he's like, is it under Peter? Is it under Bisconte? I'm like, no, it's under, do you know who the fuck I am? And my nephew goes, you get it? When they ask your name, you just have to yell, do you know? I get it, Nick! And he won't do it. Nick's like, I'll do it. I can't wait
I'll make sure to do that next week. Do you know
who the fuck I am? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, that's, and that's where I am. And life is good. And I mean, you're telling me, and I mean this. Look at my face when I say this, so you get the compliment. You are incredibly positive energy. I mean, you're hot to begin with, but you're like I was saying that, like you're always, like, I'm sure you get cranky and stuff, but you have a positive energy around people. You really do. Did you get?
You.
I do. I love people, and which is why I'm willing to admit I got tied up in knots a little bit in the middle of this pandemic. I got fucking pissy.
I got all cranky and I got all like, I'll be honest, like, I got
because if you depressed. Did, I feel a little bit better. Yeah, go on.
I got depressed and stuff because I'm like, I'm used to being around people. I'm used to entertaining. I'm used to, like, just, not being cooped up in the house and like, oh, I see the same 4 walls, and I'm rewatching Law and Order SVU all the time. And
did you see the Criminal Intent one?
Oh,
no, not Criminal Intent.
Organized Crime.
Oh my God!
I love it. I love it.
Let's play a game. How many times I had to call my friend Kevin Dombrowski, great comedian.
Oh, now we need to call each other up.
Oh, we do. Dombrowski, he's a great comedian, and his wife Molly is the one. When I used to live with them years ago, they got me hooked on it. So me and her would talk to each other. I don't know who said it more, me or Molly. Christopher Maloney is fucking hot, and the other guy, McDermott.
He doesn't age.
No,
he does not age. Yeah. Oh my god.
And all I keep doing, I watch the first couple with Molly. I'm like, they're gonna fuck. Him and Mariska, I'm like, they gotta fuck.
They have to. They need to. There's so many. They need to end up together.
Yeah.
I'm watching the show. I'm like, oh.
It's so good.
Oh my
So
god.
good. Yeah. And it was only 8 episodes. My buddy's like, yeah, it's done.
September 23rd. It's coming back.
Stop
I'm like,
oh, we should have a party.
Yes,
we should have a watch party.
Yes. And then I started rewatching SVU, like the new season, because it was the crossover and he came back.
I haven't been watching the newer seasons. Like,
as soon as he left, I haven't been watching because I'm like, it's not the same without him. Like, he was the one that was like, I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Yeah,
like,
so good.
I'm just like...
He looks better now than when he left. And he looked good when he left. I'm telling you. I said that to mine. I'm like, I don't think I can watch this because every time him or Dylan McDermott, I'm like, that's a good-looking son of a bitch.
Wow, he does not age.
But I want to get back to this because you're making me feel better. You said you were getting depressed a little bit and just watching those.
I was getting depressed and everything just because I'm so used to entertaining. I'm used to traveling. I'm used to working and
to living your life.
Yes,
that you've earned
and being around people. And then all of a sudden, this shutdown was not supposed to last as long as it did.
I know
it wasn't.
No, 14 days to flatten the curve.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not trying to impress. I'm not trying to impress you. It's been buried in. I don't know if anyone knew that.
And then a year and a half later, we're still not working and everything.
This is how I got depressed because it sneaks up on you because at first I'm very blessed because we're doing the show in the morning still 4 days a week, okay?
Right.
And I used to write for a sports sheet at night, but if you were here earlier and you weren't, I've lost my mind with sports. Today, I don't know when this airs, but today, Simone Biles, who I still love more than anything. Simone Biles, I'll say this, I said it earlier. Simone Biles is the greatest athlete in her sport of our lifetime. She is better at gymnastics than Michael Jordan was at basketball, than Tiger Woods was at golf, than LeBron James was at sucking China's dick.
Did you
I love saying that.
while you were saying that?
What's that?
Did you breathe while you were saying
that? Breathing's overrated. And they broke her. You can't convince me that whatever this narrative going on in the country, there's a race war, and I bring this up my act too. This is where I live, and look at my face. I love my neighborhood. And I live on 104th and 1st, okay, in East Harlem, okay? Spanish Harlem. So, first thing, all my family in Jersey who I love, but they're like, what happened in your neighborhood? I'm like, nothing. No one said, hey, why don't we go ruin Luis's deli? Why don't we go fucking wreck Sam's car?
Right.
That's one. Two, I've been jumping rope like every other day in my neighborhood. And I go in the park.
I saw that.
Yeah, I go in the park, and oh my God, I'm at the point now where people come up and say hi, like we're friends. Some woman always walks by with this big white Labrador, and I'm like, ladies, good morning. You both look gorgeous.
How you doing?
And I was, literally, how you doing? I must have done it enough times.
Okay, Joey Tribbiani.
It is. I was jumping rope 2 days ago, and the woman yells, hey, no hello? And I'm like, oh my, and that's, and it's like.
Don't you miss that?
I love, but it's coming back, and I love that.
I hate that. Don't get me wrong. I'm a straight up New Yorker, and I used to
hate
that.
You are?
I used to be the complete bitch where it was like, oh, you're saying hello to me, bye. But now it's like, neighbors are saying hi. I'm like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
How's it going?
You give them a lingering hello. Is there anything else? Yeah.
How's your day going and stuff? And I'm just like, oh wait, I'm talking. Hold on.
But that is, and I keep getting off topic. But that is, that's my point. It's the depression. Snuck up on me and became angry because I was lucky enough to be doing that. I was writing for the sheet, which just ended. But so I'm working in the morning and at night.
Right.
And as an aside, I thought I was gonna die. I didn't think that, but I was worried way more than I should have been because of what you said. They said not the first thing Fauci and the CDC said was, okay, remember. At this point, I'm 50 back then, and I've never in my life.
Fantastic.
I really do. I'm not being I look better now than I do, but Well, again, I cut 2 bottles of Jameson out of my diet a week, so I lost 30 pounds. But I'm not kidding. So in my 50 years on Earth, I've never had a reason to not trust the government, okay? So when the government says 95% of America is going to get COVID, it's just a matter of when, so we're going to shut down the country for 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Right.
Okay, I remember that vividly, and But I'm like, well, and I'm calling my brother. I'm like, I'm already, Pete, I'm worried because I've been on the subway with no mask, and obviously I'm going to get it. Lives all the stuff we were told. So I'm calling him every other day. And, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm fine. And
oh, no, I had my mom crying to me every single day.
Yeah.
Like, crying. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my God, we're going to die and blah, 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 and everything. And I'm just like, oh, my God. I think that was stressing me out even more. And then financially, too, I'm like, we don't work 9 to 5. I don't get, like, a paycheck every week. Or, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like,
so you did what I did, and then once you get through it, you're 4 months in, and now I'm like, all right, you're starting to realize, not that it's bullshit, but you're like, all right, this isn't as bad.
Something's going to happen. Something's got to
But this is when it hit me. I'm sitting in my apartment about 4 months in, right? And I'm like, why am I paying so much rent? Oh, yes, I can go do comedy any night of the week I want, and I can't. And I realized that it's not that they had taken it from me, but I was the people that I don't want to say made fun of because I wasn't yet, but I was one of those sheep. I'm like, I didn't even realize it. It's a hostage situation. I'm like, oh yeah, they took the fucking thing I came up here for, and I'm not even angry. And then I went from depressed to angry. You know what I mean? And that's when I became
angry.
This outlaw, apparently, in comedy. But go on. But yeah, so that's what it is.
I was depressed. I was angry. I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Fuck the world. I was like, because I'm so used to working. I'm so used to being around people. And then I'm like, I can't do anything. The hair salon is closed. The nail place is closed.
Right.
My job is closed. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I don't want to walk outside.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no reason. And
there is nothing to do. I'm like, I'm going to sit in my car.
But this was the breaking point for me, okay? When they went after Trump for hydroxychloroquine, let me tell you a story, okay? And this is what I realized. You can't follow the science. It's like we've all been there, like, let me check. You can't read the CDC. And it becomes common sense. Let me tell you a story. I used to date a girl. They'll never find her body, okay?
You're Italian.
Late night. Yeah, what, you think I did half an inch? What the fuck? We get our back into it. She had lupus. Lupus is an autoimmune disease, okay? That means it's exactly what they worry about with COVID. It attacks your immune system your whole life. You know what they give you to treat it? You know what you take? Hydroxychloroquine. You know how long you take hydroxychloroquine? Every day for the rest of your life. Rita is her name. 17 years later, she has a 16-year-old son. They're traveling the world. She's doing great. Okay. But the government wanted me to believe that if I'm healthy and suddenly get this flu and I take hydroxychloroquine for 2 weeks, I'll die. That's a lie! Right. Gene, prove it. I don't have to prove it. I just told you why. You can't convince me it's not a lie. And then you read more stuff like vitamin D doesn't work. It does. Well, then why are people dying? Well, people of color are getting it because they are raised on the equator where it's 900 degrees, so they wake up, walk outside, and their skin is like, I don't need to absorb that much vitamin D. When you put them in Manhattan, they're still not absorbing it. They don't get as much vitamin D. But what about the other people dying? Well, fat people are dying because vitamin D, and let me point something out. I'm not trying to press you. Tell her, I'm dumb, and I remembered this, okay? Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it's stored in fat. So let's say you weigh 300 pounds, and the vitamin D needs to get out of your cells. It can't. It can't. It looks like fucking Han Solo in fucking Star Wars, okay? So you don't get the vitamin D. They don't tell you that. They did a study last one, because I could go on for days. Ivermectin cures it in the early stages, okay? But they did a study like, oh, we can't prescribe ivermectin. Not because it's $3 and it's preventative. They said people could OD on it. You know why they said people could OD on it? Because ivermectin is as big as your cell phone in a pill, and they think people will take the whole pill at once. They won't. They won't. It's insane. Oh, and one other thing. Remember when you were a kid, everything you learned about fucking being sick? When you don't feel well, go to the doctor. What did they tell you to do? Don't go to the doctor. Stay home until the virus replicates so much that you have to go to the emergency room. I'm done. I'm sorry. But everything I said, you don't have to look up. You can either say, he's nuts, fuck him, or he's right, that makes sense, or anything in between. Right. And I'm done. But that... And let me act like I'm not crazy. And that's what I started reading when I lost my mind 4 months in. But I'm done because it made me get to where I am. And let me say this. We stuck the landing because, again, I walked in. You saw my face. I'm like, you look great. Whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it. Because it's like, we win. We got through it.
Because, like I said in the beginning, the media makes everything worse than it really is. And like, it scares so many people. It scares so, like, now all of a sudden we have to wear the masks again. Yeah. And stuff. And like,
can't wait. I'll be doing that.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what I find the funniest, and I keep saying that, the people that wear the masks inside their own car by themselves. I laugh at it. I'm
Aaron
like,
Berg does a joke. He's like, that's very important to keep the cocks from flying into your mouth. I'm not even doing it right, and it's hilarious. When he does, it's even funnier. It's like, that's important because you don't want all those cocks. But anyway, go on.
But I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, what are you protecting? This is your own environment.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, fine. The masks, I can't breathe. I don't know how people could do it in the gym and stuff and everything. Like, you're going to die. You're legit going to die.
Let me ask you something. Where do you think COVID has a better chance of surviving? On your body, which is filled with antibacterial, you know, like your immune system,
right.
Or on a mask where it lives 3 or 4 days and it's kept warm. It's
right.
insane.
You wear the same mask. Like, it's not like you're really changing it.
No.
And those fashionable masks now, like, you really think that they're gonna help
They'll
you?
save me.
Exactly.
You would have thought the leopard print would have saved me.
And I don't understand. People didn't know how to wash their hands before the whole COVID.
It's
like, I used hand sanitizer before the whole COVID. So, like...
Do you understand the only people wearing masks now have to be vaccinated? And look, and tell me I'm wrong, because the only way I can see it is if you're wearing a mask right now, I have to look at it the other way. If you're not vaccinated, why would you suddenly start wearing a mask? It's that simple. The only reason you would wear a mask is, you know, what's the meme going around? Some woman on the phone, no one will get it. My vaccine won't work till everyone else gets one. It's insane that people believe it's better than the immune system. And I'll tell you something else. Like Fauci, you know when I lost more respect for Fauci than ever? All right, look.
You had respect for him?
No. He's a weasel. Let me point something out that also you don't have to look up. He's the highest paid civil servant in America, okay? You know who really cared about helping people and keeping them healthy? You ever heard of I can't remember her name. Oh yeah, motherfucking Teresa. She lived in another country. She gave up all her possessions.
Right.
You don't become the richest civil servant in America by giving a fuck about anyone else. And you know when I lost my mind? When Jen Psaki, who, just like this, I like her now. Here's why. Because I think Biden's an idiot. I do. I'm not saying I don't vote. But I think Biden's an idiot, and anyone that thinks he isn't is insane. Okay? The country runs itself. Okay? Let me get on everyone's...
Well, you don't really hear it from Biden at all. No.
Because he's a puddinhead. But here's the thing. Anyone that wakes up saying Trump's going to be back in office in August, anyone that wakes up and says Biden can save the country, you deserve to live in terror because the country runs itself, okay? But I feel bad for Jen Psaki has to go up every day and try and justify. But you know what she did? You know, and this ties into Fauci. You know what she did last Friday? Does it like last weekend? You know what she did? She threw out the first pitch at the Nationals game. And you know what? It wasn't bad at all. Like, if I was the catcher and this was home plate, he literally stepped like this and caught it. And she threw it from the front of the mound like anyone else does. Did you see Fauci's first pitch? Did you? It went sideways because he's a GAY faggot. And do you understand? Jen Psaki is good at her job. She's like, I'm a figurehead. People will talk about this. Let me justify,
right.
You know, let me legitimize who I am. And I look at her now, I'm like, you're fine with me,
I love you now.
You could fucking say, put all the Italians in camps. I gotta respect you. You're kind of hot now. She'll never be Kayla McEnany. But Fauci is so untouchable in his brain that he threw the shittiest first pitch by anyone not named after 2 quarters. That's a baseball joke. He'll get it. 50 Cent. And 2, then he sits there without a mask. And they let him, and the left, they're both insane. But then when Rand Paul calls him out, he's like, here's another thing that Rand Paul said that I'll never forget to him. He goes, there is not one single case. That's all you need to know. There's not one single case of someone who is asymptomatic or reinfected with COVID, giving it to someone and that person dying. That's all you need to know about fucking antibodies, okay? And he goes, so wouldn't you say wearing masks is theater? And this is what Fauci goes, it's not theater. And then the left, you know, the right, of course, is on Rand Paul's side, but the left is it's like, oh, fucking Fauci embarrasses. It's like you, and let me try and think who said it. Oh yeah, you can't listen to the media.
No.
And I sit here saying I don't, and I quote chapter verse how much he drove me nuts in the. I lie. I'm lying to you people. I gotta go watch Tucker right now. Leave me the fuck alone.
That's it. We're done.
Hi. How are you? Hi.
Hi.
Now where were we?
Where were
we? Oh, this is still on. But I mean, it's like. I get to the point where I'm like this, and when I hear myself yelling too much, I'm the first to make. I'm not the first. I'd like to be, but usually someone else will make. And you should, like, because I know I get caught up. And people, I've said this to a lot of people over the past few years, like as long as I've never been political. I've never talked about everything is sports and dick
but
jokes.
now everything is political.
And I get so caught up in it. And after a while, it's like, just shut up. Go back to your I do a joke about my cat now, finding my cat, and it's a 20-minute bit of dumb race jokes. And like there's one joke, I'm like, I get down there and there's 5 kittens, 4 black ones, they're not doing anything, and 1 white kitten nervously clutching his wallet. And it's just stupid race jokes about kittens, and people love it. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like pontificating, trying to act like I know I don't. But I know how to make people laugh.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to make people laugh.
I do. I've always been good at that. It is. And it's like I get caught up in all this shit. But it's what I said. Like, I need to remind myself that I draw in very good people. And I mean it. Like, it seems like you're doing better than ever. It's like, you assess in the middle of this madness. You go through it.
The pandemic actually helped me start this network, start this podcast. It pushed me to do that because I'm like,
yeah, this setup's fucking great.
Isn't it better than the last one, right?
It's like the Stern Studio. You're tricked into saying whatever the fuck you want.
You can say whatever you want.
That's right.
It's a no judgment free.
Let's talk about the Jews as soon as we get this one.
Let's talk about the Italians.
Yeah, same thing.
Exactly.
The same thing. Oh.
But like I said, they get along so well. The Italians and the Jews.
Everyone really does get along well until you look at what's going on. Whites, there's no whites. And this is what I say in the act, and I mean it. We're not a racist country. No. We let every race in. You know what I mean? And anyone that doesn't realize that, anyone that doesn't realize people are floating over on doors to get away from there, that's your loss. Like, we're so lucky to live.
We weren't born with hate. That's, like, I've never seen so much segregation as I have right now. Well, we weren't born with hate, and I feel like it's, once again, the media that divides us so much.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm genuinely curious. Like, I guess it's second generation. My grandfathers were here. My grandfathers came over from Italy. Like, how many generations back do you go? Or is it too many to count?
No, we all came at the same time.
But do you, like in the past 100, 200 years, or do you not know? I'm just curious.
I came when I don't really remember, but I came here when I was 8 months old.
From where?
Russia.
See, Jesus Christ, you're not getting the compliment I'm trying to pay you. Okay, you understand, like, let me tell you, you're alone. I can't imagine anyone from Russia wanting to come here now when we just humiliated ourselves on a grand stage. But here's the point.
We look like idiots now.
This is why you have critical race theory and white guilt, in my opinion. And again, I'm just going to say it. I'm not just going to say it, just going to put this out there, and it makes complete sense to me. I never, until the past year, realized I'm the grandson of an immigrant. I never thought of myself like that, but when my grandfather came over from Sicily and my other from Abruzzi in Italy, when they came over on the boat, they got to Ellis Island, no one said to them, look at how white you are. Grab a slave and pick the job of your choice. Like, they were farmers, and they were sent to Vineland in South Jersey where they farmed, okay? And let me tell you, in the 40s and 50s, that's when they first came out with pesticides. So my father, who inherited the farm, it was like that scene from The Godfather. He was spraying pesticides that you wear fucking suits that they use at the Wuhan Viral Institute, full circle, to fucking spray fucking peppers. He died of lung cancer, and no one cares. You know what I mean? But you know why people feel white guilt? Because they're the fucking white people that are so fucking white they can trace their family back to the Mayflower, and they're the ones that sat at the gates of this country for decades, for centuries going, go home coon, go home kike, go home wop, go home spick, and now they're like, we all have to, fuck you! Fuck you! Why don't you dig up my dad and do an autopsy on what's left of his fucking lungs? Oh, because you're too busy saying, Nancy Pelosi has never known a black person in her life, but she wants to help them. I'm not... I just want to cry.
Oh, do you need a hug?
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. Right, lower. Oh, yeah. I've lost my mind with it. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm right about that. And I'll tell you this, which is also good. Like, I do. I'm nuts with my family. I love them. Like, remember I used to go to LA all the time? But now I have this cat, so this is what I do.
So you don't leave your cat alone?
I'm nuts with this cat. I can't leave her for more than a couple days because she'll be so fucking bored.
Is she here?
No, she's the screensaver. Look at that. But here's the thing, I'm a firm believer, and it's more that you draw it in.
Does she have an Instagram page?
She's on. People have said it. She should get one. But here's my point. Like, now this is what I do. Like, this is, and it gets back to the family thing that made me cherish it more when I realized, like, now if I have a week off, I go to Vineland, New Jersey. My Aunt Olga passed away, but we still have our house because you can't sell a farmhouse worth $8 that's filled with shit. So this is what I do. I take the cat and let her chase bugs for a week while I smoke cigars. And look at my face. It's better than banging a hooker in L.A., maybe. But it is. It is. And I let her walk outside, and I take, it's like, and that's...
So you're like a proud dad, basically.
I have two.
I
have two shirts that say "Cat Dad" because look this, and she just says, "Look."
Oh my
she
God!
Just,
it's so
she
white.
just plops on my face. You're damn right. She's white. She's not lazy. So dumb. Look. Oh, and this is her like in an August shirt. Just chasing shit. Just being perfect.
Oh my God! So cute.
So that's what I do now. I just hang out with.
Is this in Jersey?
It's in Vineland. Quit bragging. Oh look.
Oh.
Okay, please. But
he's a proud dad.
Please, I have a cat. My brother and my nephew got me a shirt that says "Cat Dad," and it's a novelty shirt. They're like, it's a joke. I'm like, oh, this is not a joke. I'm wearing.
This is not a joke. I'm wearing it everywhere.
I wear it all the time on the show. And another fan sent me. I'm a Chargers fan, right? And my cat's name is Six. The number, she was 6 on the litter. Someone sent me a Charger shirt, and they're like, look at the back, and it says "Cat Dad," and it's number 6. Fuck you, I'm fine. Fuck you guys. But Shendon. But that's the thing. Like, so I look back at the past year, and it's like, I know I'm nuts, and feel free to laugh at me. You can call me like my buddy Kevin
Do you think
Dabrowski
it bettered you though?
What's that?
Do you think it bettered you? Like the
It did. It definitely did. I'm not kidding. Like, I look at pictures on Google. I lost 25 pounds.
You look great.
Just by not drinking and by jumping rope, you know, and I do and thank you, but it's like, and it was all stuff that just kind of happened as a result of me saying, all right, what can I do? And I'm lucky that happened. And it really, I really started to enjoy comedy more. I was doing this sports sheet, but I kept, like, in the past year, I did it 6.5 years, okay? And the first 5.5 years, well, my whole life up until it's like, I love writing about sports. I got paid to talk about it. Not a lot, but it's like what I'm doing anyway. But in the past year, ESPN started covering woke shit and stuff, and I would weigh in on it. And they're like, don't say anti-vaccine shit.
Oh, that's why anti-woke.
Yeah. All this shit, and they're like, all right, you're fired. And don't get me wrong, these are 3 friends of mine. It wasn't like they said you're fired. The iHeartRadio, the vice president goes, who's this guy that's doing anti-vaccine articles when we're doing a vaccine rollout? And they're like, we'll talk to him. They're like, he's fired.
Don't worry, he's fired. He's not coming back.
And they call me up and they're like, the sheet's run its course. And there was this moment where, and it happened on the air on the show. And it's another thing where I'm just like, I can't believe that happened like that, because you see it in my face. We've all been fired. My face was like relief. And all that could come out of my mouth was, I was gushing gratitude. I'm like, dude, it has been an incredible 6.5 years. I can't thank you enough. Because I went from bragging about the sheet, because I talk a big game, I'm not, to the last year bitching about it. But God forbid I man up and quit and say, I'm just doing this for the money now. Oh no, I kept doing it just for the money, until I kind of kept pushing buttons till they fired me. And I was like, yeah, you got yourself fired, dipshit. I'm not the victim here.
But you were happy about it, though.
Stuff comes across today. Everything that comes across, I go, thank God I'm not doing the sheet anymore. The guy that hired me too, and still a friend of mine, his name's Dan. Every now and then I'll text him like, just hire me for one more day so I can get us both fired. He's like, we're not doing this, cheat. We're not doing this. But that's how lucky I am. They're like, look, you're fired. And I said, okay.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I still go drinking with them all the time. Like, yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, and I'm man enough to make fun of myself. I sit there and talk a big game, but I was the pussy. I don't care about money. Then quit this job. Oh, I can't quit this job.
I
keep
I
giving me this money that I really like. So everything works out, you know.
What about comedy shows? Do you feel like
comedy's great again? I'm really enjoying what I'm saying on stage. There's not an ounce of me anymore that looks back and be like, if I could tweak the act or whatever. Like, this is the thing I realized. It's like, as long as I've been doing it and as long as I plan to do it, like, I've never, and now I double down, I don't hedge a single word, a single thing, because think about it, if you are on this long journey and you want to go in a straight line, imagine you take one word out or tweak one bit.
Right.
Oh, then you're
this kid's not really there no more.
And you're off course, and you go and where do you wind up? And I'm just trying to make the metaphor, but it's like, I'm doubling down on everything. I'm saying everything I want to say, uncancelable, you know, you can't. You can't. Anything I lose, it's not like, oh my God. Anything I lose, I wasn't supposed to have.
Right.
Everything I have, I genuinely enjoy. So it's not like, well, what's the next step? It's like, I've always said this. I haven't said it in a while, but I forgot. It's like, I've always said, I'm not good at going from point A to point B. Some people are great at that. A lot of people are great at that.
I'm not either.
But I'm great at sitting in point A and going like this. How great is this?
Right.
Let's just enjoy this and see where
and
it takes
us.
us.
And
That's what I'm doing. And I love it. And I think it shows, like, I've never been happier. I've never enjoyed the people I work with or the shit I'm doing. I don't take.
Do you think it's coming back though? Like the audience is coming back and stuff? And
I think it's coming. It's not coming back as much as, thank God. It's never going to be
Why,
the way.
thank God?
Because it's never going to be the way it was. I think comedy. I think act. I thank God I'm not in Hollywood. Not like they're begging me to go there, but I think
because Broadway's coming back in September.
Well, thank God. But watch this. Even organized crime. They had this COVID. And I said, I'm like, Kevin's like, everything does. I'm like, I don't watch everything. But
everything is about COVID now.
Yeah, but I didn't mind it. That's how good the writing was. But comedy is, and I've said this so many times. I'm lucky to be where I am, but you said it. Like, and I joke, but I work hard at what I do, even though my hard work is play. But I didn't say, when I moved up here in 2001, the plan is always, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to get 10 to 15 good minutes. I'm going to get an agent. I'm going to get a festival. I'm going to get a late night spot. I'm going to get a meeting. I'm going to get a talk show.
I'm just going to have it all.
Yeah, but that's the plan, right? But I couldn't do step one. I couldn't get a good 10 minutes. That was because I would curse. I would fucking do crowd work because that's how I was.
Yeah, but now you could curse.
Yeah, but you can't curse if you want to do a late night set. You can't even do anything. But there was never a time. I'd love to say there was a time I went back to my apartment and said, that's it. I'm going to say what I want to say and they'll come to me. I never said that. I'm sure I said something like, that's it. I can't do it their way. I'm going to do it my way and see what happens, like we just said.
Right.
And then then I do nothing and the world fragments around me. Suddenly comedy isn't about one late night show. Suddenly comedy isn't about fucking regular TV. There's HBO, there's streaming services. Suddenly comedy isn't about getting an agent and a contract. You can get monetized. Suddenly comedy isn't about getting a network contract when you can go on YouTube. Suddenly you can be on fucking Anthony Cumia's network doing a podcast, getting your own followers that promote you because they're a fan. And all you have to do to promote yourself is be really good at what you do so people will tell other people that think like them and bring them in. The people that don't like you won't show up. Let me tell you what I did to do that. This.
I mean, honestly, that's how I feel about the porn industry because now you don't really need an agent. You were
one of the first to talk about OnlyFans, if I can give you props, okay? And you said a lot of people are like, what are you doing on OnlyFans? You're like, yeah, ask me in 6 months. I didn't mean to interrupt. I wanted to compliment you. But go on.
Like, now I'm not really on it, but like...
I know. I mean, you're not?
Oh, damn it.
Did I land that one?
OnlyFans killed the porn... To me, OnlyFans killed the porn industry because all you need is a camera phone.
Yeah.
And that's it. And, like, that's how I feel it's with the comedy and, like, all the entertainment, basically, social media and everything. Kind of, all you need is a camera phone and you could call yourself, hey, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm a porn star.
Yeah.
Or, and I'm like, bitch, I paid my dues. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but wouldn't you argue you can do that? But in comedy, they get exposed, okay? And I would think in porn they do as well.
Right.
Or no, I'm not. I'm asking. I guess I'm not asking, but that's what I meant to ask. Like people that sit there like, oh, look at me, I'm a YouTube personality. Okay, but you're not, and you can get hits, but you'll never be a comedian. You know, like they it's work for them. There's people that, don't get me wrong, they're very good at TikTok. Okay, you're great at TikTok. You're great at it, but
what else?
But that's work. You have to fucking get the followers.
You still have to dance, and I can never be a TikToker because I can never just be like, hey, let me just do the dance. And
so you're kind of doing what but comedy, it's like, I'm just going to tell the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think as a porn star, you have the following, you've got the legitimacy. I'm guessing. Am I wrong or no?
You want to do porn together?
With a little short?
The
Come
Italian
on.
Jew?
Come on. Give me 2
Italian
more weeks.
And the Jew?
Give me 2 more weeks to get the abs. I'm in. I'm in.
I think you're good.
There you go. It moved. Thank God I'm wearing long pants.
Yes!
How could it not? Come on.
Why did you change from shorts?
Because no reason. I don't want people. I don't. You know, two of the funniest people I know, Aaron Berg and Big J Okerson.
I love them both.
They're great. They can wear shorts on stage. I don't know how they do it. And I don't know why, but a lot of comedians are the same way. It's like, if I'm on a show, I have to wear pants.
Ralph, too.
Yeah.
Ralph wears sweatpants all the time.
Ralph is the best. Ralph tells stories and I just sit there like, oh.
And, like, Ralph just says it so nonchalantly and, like, so serious that I'm like, wait, is he joking? Or I'm not
You know his move. He's the world's great... One of his moves is he meets women because... and he said this for him. We love it. Like, I bust his balls. He goes to, like, the NYC, like, Instagram, like, the hashtag for NYC sites or people that...
Right.
And he fucks people that are just getting... He's like, hey, if you want to look around the city, I'm a really good tour guide.
And it doesn't work?
It works! The guy's a genius!
Did
I
you
love
try
it. I wish he could see you laugh at that. But it works, you know, it's like...
Did you try it?
I'm not that guy! And I know nothing about the city. What are we looking at now? Here's an alley where no one can hear you scream.
You know what's funny? I lived in New York my whole entire life. I don't think I've been to the Statue of Liberty. Maybe I've been there one time.
Nope, I went by it on a boat. Never been to Ellis Island.
Nope, I've never been to Ellis Island.
Nope.
Like, Statue of Liberty, I think I went on a school trip when I was like 7.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I've been to the museums in New York more before I lived here in 20 years, in the previous 20 years than the past. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
It's like, because we're here.
Right, like...
You know?
I don't need to be a tourist. I'm here. I'm not a tourist.
You go look at the Van Gogh. I'm going to watch this
Let
homeless
me know
guy
how
shit
it
off the
goes.
6th Street.
Exactly. Let me
That's
know how it
fucking art.
goes. Let me know. But when the homeless people, like, stayed in all the boutique hotels, that was great.
This, again, de Blasio... I'm going to say it again. I don't know anything about politics, but they think we're
He's
idiots.
an idiot.
They think we're all idiots, right? Like, I went to the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest this year. First time ever. We have a guy that comes on our show a lot, George Chigger, competitive eater. He's, like, big in Philly. But, you know, he's ranked 15th in the world, but that's nothing for Nathan's, right? But he's, like, there, and he's like, hey, I got VIP passes, so me and a couple people go. Okay. It doesn't, I guess.
Was it good?
It was
Did you participate?
No, but I was, like, from here to him, from Chigger, watching him, and I loved it. You know, it was so fun. He's such a good guy. But this is the thing. It's not at Nathan's. It's 2 blocks down at the minor league stadium, Cyclones. 10,000 people.
I went on the Cyclone one time. I thought I was going to die.
Why?
Oh, my God. It was the scary...
How long ago?
This was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was, like, going... like
rickety.
Yeah. I was like, oh, my God. Tell my mama I love her. Like, I'm gonna die today.
Joey Gay does a joke about it where he's like, he goes, I love, and you have to know Joey Gay because he talks like this. He's crazy, right? He's like, I love, I love hanging out at Coney Island. I'll just keep getting on the Cyclone. And every time I'll sit there in line going, I love the Cyclone. I've read it 300 times. It's my favorite ride. I can't get enough of it. Then we'll get on. And it goes click, click, click. And when we get to the top and you're the last click, I go, what the hell was that? Again, I'm not even telling it right, and it's hilarious. It's just...
no, I was just like, oh my god. You hear the click, 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 and then all of a sudden I'm like...
I bet I can find that joke online. I'll send it to you, but you'll lose your mind. It goes, what the... But here's the thing, and it's... They have to all... And I'll say it again. One thing that I did learn, someone told me that Trump made us realize, I'm like, you're right. He's like, Trump made us realize... Politicians, they don't give a fuck about us. Neither side cares. They think we're the... And the story, I always compare it to Mr. Burns on The Simpsons when he goes...
The Simpsons got it right, by the way, for everything.
Everything. Mr. Burns goes, he's talking to Smithers, he's like, every Johnny Lunch Pail and Susie Homemaker will worship me. So we're at the stadium. 10,000 people. De Blasio comes out. Okay? And... No, you know what happens. He comes out wearing the hot dog hat they're all wearing, holding the belt to introduce the fucking man, and everyone in the stadium boos, and I'm looking at him in disbelief because does he think that we're so dumb we're going to be like this? Well, we like hot dogs, and he likes hot dogs. I guess the fact that I have to step over 4 crackheads and their own shit on the way to work, that's just me, because this guy's great. He's one of us. I don't get it. And by the way, You can imagine what the cops are doing while he's getting, they're sitting there smiling. You know, and there's cops, and I'm like 3 feet from 4 cops, shoulder to shoulder, and you know, we're bullshitting, they're great. And I go, hey, thanks for not getting mad when we booed your friend. They're like, no problem. But I mean, can someone explain to me, what is he thinking?
I don't think he is thinking.
That's what someone else said. That's That's what someone else said.
I don't think he is thinking.
They don't give a fuck. I mean, I'd be embarrassed. I wouldn't be able to face anyone, let alone 10,000. And they're all booing. I don't know what he fucking... Anyway. But yeah, in case it's going to be fine, because we both like hot dogs.
Yay!
Yeah. Every Johnny... What's the other thing Burns does? He goes, yeah, if I were to have all these slack-jawed troglodytes killed, Smithers, I'd be guilty of the crime. And he goes, well spoken, sir. Well said, sir. Mm.
Well said.
Yeah, well said, sir.
Where could people find you?
You can find me
Besides right here.
In Hot Water, where you will be next week.
Yes, everyone tune in.
And go to GenoBisconte.com. It's all my stuff. My album just turned 4 years old. I say that to myself more than anyone because I
Happy
need to.
birthday to your album.
I know. It popped up in my Facebook memory.
Happy birthday.
No, happy birthday to you, 22-year-old. Oh, goodbye, everyone. But yeah,
we're gonna start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, I think Larry is starting one.
No way.
I can't make that up. Anyway, let me say this.
Lying.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
it
for
is
coming
so much
on.
fun.
You're welcome.
And next week after the show, we'll go up for birthday drinks.
Yes.
I promise. You're on the.
I want a pinky swear.
Not good at that. Right. And by the way, it's not Truly, it's whiskey and stuff. But we'll go across the street to Sullivan's.
Perfect. They're open.
They're open. When are you on? Next Tuesday?
The 4th.
Okay, so that's that's a Thursday, right?
Next Thursday, right?
1 is Sunday. 2, 3. Okay, Wednesday. All right. Wednesday's good. Oh,
Perfect.
Wednesday's good. Wednesday's good. Okay, good.
Yay!
Yeah, Wednesday's good. Wednesday's a fun day. Thursday's a...
You got my little white girl dance?
That's a very white girl dance. But yeah, GenoBisconte.com and all that stuff. But just keep fucking laughing. Don't
and
watch...
stay positive.
Yeah, yes. Not COVID positive, even though it's the flu with a better
Stay
prognosis.
woke, anti-woke, stay canceled, not canceled.
Oh, just keep fucking.
Yeah. Just keep fucking.
That's what I meant. Don't get rid of cable. The only thing worth watching is organized crime, and that's on Hulu.
And In Hot Water and Alana Love.
Yeah, Alana Love. Boom.
Hugs and kisses, guys.